Hey everyone, welcome back. Thank you very much for joining me on the channel today. As always, it's great to come back at you with a brand new video. Now today we've got something a little bit different. You might recall a little earlier last week did feature the debut single from June Turns Black titled Hurt Me.
I'm not just a demon, I'm shedding the blame. It never felt so good.
So as you can see, that does pack a little bit of a punch, and the guys were very, very kind to jump on a little video call with me, and we discussed everything as regards to the band, my thoughts on them, and just had a bit of a hangout. So I hope you all enjoy this. I'll pass you over now to the hangout I had with Cesar, Rach, and Dan from June Turns Black. Here we go.
Hi, thank you for having us. Yeah.
That's a good start. We're a bit nervous. We're so happy to be here. Thank you so much for checking out our stuff. And yeah, we're working hard. We're actually heading to rehearsals after this. So yeah, man, just always hustling, always hustling.
It's been absolutely. It was amazing to check you guys out. I think the thing for me was I even had a message from someone because I was in two minds about obviously when Dan when you reached out to me with the email. Like I get lots of emails come through, and I'll be honest with you, half of them usually literally just say, "Hey, we've got a single coming out next week. If you check it out, that'd be cool." And as much as I love everyone that reaches out to me, that's sort of like it's like but like. Clearly, you took a lot of time to put that message together, and I even said to a few friends, I was like, you know what? Regardless as to whether they actually have watched loads of videos or they've just gone through and be like, right, well, he likes this and he likes this. You'd actually gone to some effort to do that, and for me, that was enough for me to be like, right, you know what? I'm gonna give this a chance. And then I looked at the thumbnails, like, I think these have got a female vocalist. And I'm sure
Yeah.
you know how much that's my thing, but honestly, man, that is exactly how to be as a band, and I massively appreciate it. Even a friend of mine said when he was watching a video that brought a tear to his eye from your email, man. So you did good things.
Thank you so much, man. I'm so happy you appreciated it. Yeah, well, I'm coming from a place where I'm thinking that, look, like you and like everyone who does content creation, like you're probably swamped with emails. You're probably swamped with like all the work that you need to do, like all the effort that you need to put in these videos so that they look good, that they sound good, and man, there's like 24,000 songs uploaded to Spotify each day, so like it's crazy. So I thought that, look, it's the least I could do to not just send out like an email blast, just BCC everyone and just call it a day, right? But like actually take time to look through the channel, like watch the videos, see if I like the content creator, if they would like what we're doing, and see what the format is and all of that, and actually that's my way of also like giving something back to you and like to other content creators, and I thought it would be like the least I could do. And not just that, but also, give you some context. Not just like drop the link and be like, hey,
Yeah.
we have a cool new song. Check it out. but actually to give you some context, explain, what this song means to us at least, and what we were going for. Hopefully not too much to spoil the reaction, but like at least something to give you something to latch onto, to see if even before you hit play, because I imagine there's a lot of people who don't even like hit play. Like other content creators might get, again, they get like thousands of emails. They're just like, okay, just skip, go through quickly. Like even before you hit play or not, there might be something there that you like, there might be something that you don't like. So I just try to be as upfront and like as upfront as possible, and to actually support the content creators I enjoy.
I think that's really cool, man. It also helps. You've also got really sexy hair, so there is that.
Thanks, man. Thanks. I appreciate it. Our Lucia, our makeup artist, actually like spent a lot of time to dye the hair, like, and then arrange it and all of that, like both mine and Caesar's hair as well.
No, it's cool. It's cool, and I do think as much as it shouldn't matter these days. I mean, the amount of bands that I've featured like over like the last 5 years or something. The one thing that's always going to be, if I'm just like trolling through YouTube, it's like, as much as I've got a ton of requests, it's like, you know what, I'm just going to look and see what's out there today, and I'll just grab one that I want to do. And thumbnail, or like just the image of the band is massively important to like just like grab people, because otherwise it's just like, I don't know, if you show like an image of something that's, I don't know, just something completely random in a video, because the amount of times I've done a video I've been like, oh, there's not really anything interesting in this video, I need to like pull an image from the band's socials or something. But everything about what you sent through, the way that the video looks, I love from the darkness into the light, and then that crazy makeup and all that was put across Rach in the video. I thought that was absolutely amazing. And for your first release, man, that's absolutely insane. I was just like, I'd watched it and I was like, I was reading up afterwards. I was like, are you fucking joking me? This is the band's first release. That's, how this is how high the bar is set these days. And I mean, for me, like you probably know from the videos you've seen, I'm a massive Dream State fan. Stellaris, as everything unfolds, like all those bands that like gain lots of traction. And for me, you're right up there with all of them. And that's just the back of one song. That just checking you out for the first time literally will be a simple case of every time I get a notification that you've dropped a new song, I'll be like, all right, everything can fuck off, I'm getting on it now.
Oh, thank you so much.
Cheers, mate. Thank you so much.
No, you're welcome. You're welcome.
And we also screwed ourselves over, because now we set the bar.
Now for the next song, like, we can't go any lower.
Yeah.
So first up, like the bands that you mentioned, like I really enjoyed Stellaris, and I actually found out about them from your channel. I didn't know about the band. Yeah. Dream State is cool. As Everything Unfolds is super cool. I found out about them fairly recently as well, and I was like, damn, they sound good. And like, it'd be awesome if we ever got to talk to the lads and the lass in
Joking, that would be epic.
But coming back to the visuals, the visuals are very important for us. Not because we're trying to make up for the music or anything like that, but like we're trying to give the visuals an equal amount of tender love and care, because it's us as musicians, right? It's very easy to focus on the music that comes naturally, but we like to do things that don't necessarily come naturally, and for the visuals, we always try to tie them into a concept. So, for example, for the band photo shoot and like the hair colors and things like that, that's more broad strokes, let's say, but the video itself is deeply tied to us as our identity as a band, and also the identity of the song. So on that note, I'm gonna let Rach talk about it, because she actually directed the video and came up with the concept. She's our creative director.
I mean, I tried.
Tried.
Yeah.
That's just trying it. You did an amazing job. One thing I did find really interesting, because I'm sure you guys will explain this, is with that song, the meaning that I thought it actually had until then, when I saw some stuff that you guys posted on your socials, was completely different to what I thought. So it'll be really interesting to hear if there's like one plain meaning for it, or if it's like quite broadly, so it can apply to one person and something else to somebody else. That'd be quite interesting to find that out.
I mean, when we write, sure, it comes from personal stuff, but we try to make it as much as you know, so people can relate. We try to make it more general, let's say.
Yeah, I mean, for us, even within the band, like when we write a song, we each sort of ascribe our own meaning to it in a way, or have it relate to one of our personal experiences differently. So "Hurt Me" is to me, for example, it's more about a toxic relationship, right? And let's say you've been in a relationship for a few years, and you have this moment of realization that it's not a healthy way to have like a partnership, right? And you say, look, you can try whatever, but I'm leaving. Like, you can try to hurt me, you can do whatever you want, I dare you, I fucking dare you, hurt me, because you can't take anything else away from me right now.
I do love that.
For you, Rach, it's
Yeah, from my perspective, it's about I have arthritis. I've suffered for I don't know a decade now, and it's about this illness crushing me down over and over, and me standing up and facing it daily. And the only thing that goes through my mind is like, okay, motherfucker, you wanna dance? Let's dance. Come on, hurt me again. And my strength kind of builds up every day, and that's how I originally thought of the song when
Yeah.
I came to you.
yeah, that's why it never felt so good to to actually,
Yeah, it's like a release.
yeah.
When I personally don't feel any pain because it's constant, but when I don't, it feels so good. Like, oh my god, yes.
Yeah.
And then it comes back crashing again, and I have to fight against it or learn to live with it, because even though I have it for 11 years, 12 years, whatever, I'm not completely okay with it, and it's a struggle every day.
And for you, Caesar, hurt me.
Well, for those who know me, they already know that I'm a distiller of emotion, and I keep everything bottled up inside, and I've been keeping a lot of things for many years. So when I play Hurt Me, where I listen to Hurt Me, it's also a release. It's like a place where I can give out some of that black goo inside and send it out, and I feel cleaner afterwards. It has this magical touch.
Yeah, and it's not just that. Like, even within while you guys were talking, I was thinking that this song, for example, to me at least, like, it has that meaning that I said with the toxic relationship. But actually, I've had stuff in my life where, and I think we've all had stuff in our life where you feel like you've been abused, right? You or you have actually gone through it, and it's that moment of defiance. It's that moment of saying, just hurt me. Come on, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna fucking do?
Yeah,
Really? I'm
I
not
do-
giving you
I-
one more fucking inch.
I do like. I can definitely relate to that from previous stuff that's it's gone on. I think that's why I think another reason why I probably love the song, because it's something that's so real. Whereas you get there's quite a few songs I can think of where I've checked it out and then I've got to the end and I literally had no idea what that was about. So you end up having to you end up having to you Google it. Don't get me wrong. It's always good when that still makes people think. But I think when something that people can connect with something so instantly, I think that's what works really, really well. And I think this is one thing that I think with you guys starting up as the band is, I think that's one thing that's going to constantly hook people in, because they know they're going to be in for like a wild ride of emotions. And I definitely was, like, even just like, because when I do the videos, I do my first time reaction, but then before I review it, I will sort of then sometimes I might watch it maybe once more, maybe twice more. I'll be perfectly honest with you. After, like, when I was listening to yours again, I was just here. I was like, fucking yes, come on. It was absolutely amazing. But I mean, as a band, how long have you guys been going? Because I'm gonna take a guess. I'm gonna hazard a guess that this all started up in lockdown. That I'm not 100%. So you'll have to explain that one to me.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. So
The lore of Junter's Blast.
there's quite a bit of lore tied up in this band, actually.
Oh, okay.
Long story short, Rachel and I, we actually used to be in another band, another local band. She played bass, I played guitar. And when that band broke up, we said, we were very invested in that band, and we said, okay, we're not going to make another band. That was it. We had a good run of it.
2 months later.
Lasted 2 months. And we said we're gonna start this project. We had a lot of people come and go, but actually, yeah, it was pretty much in. So I think this was happening like 2018. We came up with the idea for the band with our initial sound. We've changed sounds like 4 times in this band so far, until we arrived at this point where we actually were really super happy with our blend of.
Yeah, we are on our 5th version of this band so far.
But but during lockdown, actually, Caesar showed up, and he's just been a pillar of the band ever since. And like, I couldn't imagine this band without him, honestly.
Aww.
No, honestly, man. And
That's proper nice. That's nice. I like that.
Yeah, especially like since we've been in the scene for quite a number of years, you see a lot of people that want to be rock stars, but they don't want to put in the work. And the way we operate as a band is that we put in the fucking work, and we'll see what happens afterwards.
Really does
but
show.
thank you. But like, yeah, basically like during lockdown, we focused a lot on honing our sound. And when we were missing like the final piece, a drummer, who is David, who is not here with us right now. But basically, once we had the drums as well, we operate as a 4-piece, and we said, okay, let's go. Actually, that was not the plan. We thought we'd spend more time, developing the songs, developing the sound. But I think we had basically a band meeting like a few months ago, and we said, you know what, F it, let's just go.
Yep.
Let's just go.
Yep.
We have the concept for the video. We know what the song is gonna be. Let's just go for it, and let's just
do it.
just do it. But yeah, but
It was like what, like less than a month we were already doing it.
yeah, pretty much. But yeah, so it all kind of, I think it all kind of started in, I think, 2018, 2017 ish. No, 2018.
What, the band?
Yeah, but like it got serious during the lockdown.
The thought of a band started around 2018, but the actual band, or at least this version of the band, started last year. Something like that.
Well, we had
I don't
Caesar
know.
since 2020, and
something.
we got David in
Yeah.
2022, basically.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's crazy to think about it, really, because I know that, for instance, another band that I know, when they had a new vocalist join, and everyone's like, "Oh, the new version of that band basically started in like February," but realistically, it's probably actually a year, maybe a year and a half before that. There's so much that goes into it. I mean, I've been in bands myself. I know how it all goes. Unfortunately, I've never been in a metalcore band. I was in a deathcore band once, and it was awesome,
Nice.
But that dude, it was like we were like doing deathcore before. I think it was like I remember when we were like, "What are we?" We were like, "Don't know, but it's just fun," and it killed literally killed me, man. I was playing stuff that the guitarist was like, "Right, you want to play this rhythm," and I was just like, "I can't play that." He's like, "Yeah, you can. Just fucking do it."
This guy.
Yeah, we guitar players do tend to do that. Like, what do you play, man?
Drums.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
I've not. It's been a few. It's been about. Oh God. Well, I think it was basically about maybe a year and a half into the channel. I was really struggling to like work full time, be in a band, and then do this as well because I'm just when I get really passionate about something, I just go full force with it. And you know I'll literally be like the other night. Like I think I told you when I was having issues with like my audio settings, and with one of the videos, it was like I was like, fuck, it's not done it. And it was literally like 1:15 in the morning. I had to be up at 6 o'clock for work, and I was like, "Don't give a shit. I'm just staying up until it's done." So yeah, I do kind of go like full force with it. But I mean, in terms of me getting like hype for a band, it's like you've got Stellaris, you've got you guys. As everything unfolds, like I said, like. I just can't wait to see what the future holds for you. And frankly, when I saw how many like I know subscribers don't mean shit all really, but like when I saw how many you had on YouTube, I was like, how the hell is that even possible? But talk about being ballsy. It's your first release. And Rach is just like, right, here you go. Here's a fucking one-take performance. What the hell? Like, I think I watched it like maybe about a few hours after I'd done it, and I was like, Jesus Christ! And I absolutely that just proves as well, because that's a really great thing to do, because I think there's a lot of bands that they won't put things out like that because they think, oh, you know, like maybe they're not at the point, because you know, we all know when you go into the studio, it doesn't all have to be in one take. You can be like, right, I'll do this bit and then we'll do this bit and then I'll come back to that like tomorrow. But that just shows how good you are. Like how long have you been doing vocals for, Rach? Because you're fucking sick.
Well, the funny thing is that until this version, as in 1 year and a half, I didn't actually sang anything, anywhere, nothing.
What?
Yeah. I mean, sure, I was singing in the shower or something like that, or when I was walking my dogs, but like in the childhood, so almost 20 years ago, screaming on Linkin Park songs. But other than that, yeah. So it's 1 year and a half, 2 maybe?
It's around 2 years and a bit.
Yeah, something like that.
The funny thing is, the funnier thing is that before she started singing, we had a singer, and she was actually sort of vocal coaching him, because she like knew the biology, knew the techniques. You did acting for quite a few years and used a lot of those techniques of, you know, how to project your voice and how to use your diaphragm and things like that, and how to, you know, project emotion and all of that. And she was sort of vocal coaching him. And then when he left, we were like, fuck it, we'll do it ourselves.
Because we tried to look for another singer, but we didn't find anyone that would fit. So me and Dan was staring at each other, and we were like, what are we doing? Like, should we continue? Should we keep searching? And after that, I was like, okay, you know what? I'm just gonna do it myself. I wasn't prepared for this. We need a bass player, because right then I was playing the bass, and then Caesar, thank God, came along.
Thank God.
Thank God for Caesar.
I actually didn't come for this. I came for a drink at their place.
Yeah. The funny thing was that Caesar didn't live in the city. He for quite a few years. He came back, and first thing, and we like knew each other, but like we weren't like super buddy, but we knew each other from way back, and he just came. Man, let's just grab a drink, and from grab a drink, it went to, so I guess Caesar's our bass player now.
I left with their bass that day.
Yeah, he didn't even have a bass. Like, he took Rachel's old bass
Yeah.
at the time.
Well, that's fantastic, but generally the best ideas do come from like when you've had a few beers, or sometimes your worst decisions also come from that. Like if I end up coming over to see you guys, just I'll just have to warn you. I do enjoy a beer, but I sometimes don't realize how strong stuff is. So
Yeah, same, mate. Don't worry. But like. With the vocal playthrough, so like we rehearse all the time with Rach in the room, right? We know what she sounds like for realsies, let's say.
yeah.
And man, let me tell you, she's fucking loud, man. She's fucking loud. It's not even.
We're
I
deaf
can
under
tell.
here. Right? We hear nothing.
It's not even fucking funny. Like I have to. Like we're wearing headphones and we're practicing. Music is super loud in here, and we hear her through the headphones, like through everything. Like she is,
louder than the drums.
yeah, pretty much. Like the drummer behind the drums with in-ears, listening to like the full mix and not the vocals. He can't hear the click sometimes because she's so loud in the room itself.
And even your guitar pickups.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and oh yeah, because like we record our rehearsals, and then I was listening back to what I was playing, like to my guitar, and I was like, man, I can hear something in there. What is that? And like I zoomed in on it basically, and I could hear her screaming. Like my pickups were picking her up through my guitar playing, like through my pauses, you can hear her screaming. So
Fantastic.
I'm very loud.
yes, and
And
we
you'd
knew.
think that makes her tired or hurts her throat, but no, that only gets her started.
Yeah, and like we knew that one of the first things. Unfortunately, this is kind of this is kind of one of the issues with having a female singer. People are like, she doesn't sound like that. It's all effects and stuff like that. And we knew people would comment, would say those comments. So we said, okay, we're gonna have it ready. And a week after we release the song, we're gonna release the playthrough, and that's it. And it is like I think it was like the 11th take out of 13.
Yeah.
That one.
Yeah.
So like full, no edits, no nothing. That's how she sounds. Like I have to turn her down in the mix. Sorry, just to finish the idea. And sure enough, when we released the video, like the official video, when we came out swinging with that, we got comments and messages saying that, oh, she doesn't sound like that, does she?
Yeah, they said like, let's see her do this live.
Oh yeah.
That was one of them.
And we
Challenge accepted.
were like,
You know what? I really don't understand how, say for instance, I even remember it with when Slaughter to Prevail dropped like Demolisher, and you still have people, even though the countless videos that are out there of Alex Terrible doing his vocal takes, and people are still like, oh, it's been pitch shifted or something. But I don't know why, but I do feel that the female singers really do get a bad rap. I think they're a lot more. As sort of, well, I wouldn't really say it's cringe, but like I've always had there's always been certain bands that I've been obsessed with. I can still remember back when I was like 17, I literally had a wall which was like a fucking shrine to Hayley Williams from Paramore. And
Fair enough.
that was back before I started to get into my like really heavy stuff, but I've always been a massive fan of it. But I don't understand why there's some people that really don't dig the whole, bands with female singers. I mean, for me personally, I think it's that you get that really. I think it's something that my friend in Toronto is Broken said, that it's like the voice that comes out when a female vocalist, when they do the aggressive sounds, isn't a sound which we would naturally expect. So it's kind of shocking. But I mean, for just listening back through the latest single, like again today, I was just like thinking, I was like, You know what? This is like the female version of Alex fucking Terrible. This is amazing. Honestly, I can fully imagine at some point you're doing like you should totally do this. Do a live show, and when you get to a bit when it's like you've probably got a screaming bit before something kicks back in, literally just put the microphone down and do it, and because I bet that would look sick.
Funny you should mention
Funny
it.
you should mention that. We have a song.
Yes, come on.
We actually have a song, and by the way, thank you so much, mate. We appreciate the compliment.
You're
And
welcome.
Alex
You're
Terrible
welcome.
is fucking sick, man. But like, we do have a song where for the live version, basically, and I think we're gonna do it for the studio as well. You know, she has like a screamed part, a sort of a pre-verse, where she's not doing it at the mic, like in the mic. She's gonna do it like basically screamo style, like old school fucking screamo. Like, do you remember, like in the early 2000s, there were like these screamo bands that would play these shows. They didn't even have a fucking mic, and they would just like the singers would scream their heads off.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
basically that's what that's where we got
Yeah.
the idea, and we were like, yeah, we're doing it like that.
That's really cool because that also makes me remember back to that point. And I remember when you'd get like whether it was singles or albums would come out, and when that whole screamo scene was like was everywhere. I remember you always used to get a bit in the song that would sound like they were made. Like if you're outside a rehearsal room and you listen to
Exactly,
the band,
exactly.
sort of a lot of they started doing that. But I think. Some of those sort of sounds are still done now, but the fact of the matter is now I think with YouTube being as accessible as it is, with so much information out there, I think people have really been able to like dive in deep and do it properly. Whereas, say, imagine before there was YouTube years ago, and everyone was probably killing the vocals like just because they didn't know how to do it properly, and they were like, oh, it'll be fine. I mean, obviously, happened to Ollie Sykes, and then he had to, learn how to do it correctly, But I think we're really, really lucky to sort of like live in that time. But I do think that in terms of where we've progressed, like music family, like I mean, I was born in like the 80s, and when it comes to people always say, oh, what was your best time with music? And I say honestly, I do believe it is now, because I think now we're in a time where people aren't afraid to experiment. I mean, could you imagine when like death metal first came about? If someone was like, oh, I'm gonna put a clean bit in that chorus, they'd have been like, no.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And like
Whereas
even
now it's just great,
yeah, I mean one of my favorite musical surprises in terms of like genre combination and stuff like that is there's hyper pop, which is just so wacky. It's so fun, but also like even K-pop. Like, man, you listen to a K-pop song, and like there's 6 different genres on that song. Like every 20 seconds they're switching like the genre of the song, and that's just
And
amazing.
no one bats an eye.
And nobody bats an eye.
No,
you put
no, they don't.
you put a clean chorus, as you mentioned, you clean chorus in a death metal song. Like, I even remember when Whitechapel or Suicide Silence started doing cleans, and everybody lost their freaking minds. But now it's just fine to like combine like a ton of genres and all of that. And yeah, as for screaming, I mean, you've got like a ton of great examples that you can learn from.
Yeah, definitely.
The technicality of screaming like has changed a lot, and you see, you see these kids like doing all sorts of extreme vocal techniques which are super difficult to pull off. You see them doing the sing screaming and all of that, which again like is super complicated. Like 20 years ago you didn't have that, right? And now you've got like people like Will Ramos doing God knows what noises, like just the most
pig.
Yes, the most inhuman noises possible. You've got like even Rach is studying the sing scream technique that that Sam does, that Chester used to do, that now Ollie Sykes does, and that's a very difficult technique to do. And there's a ton of young singers who are just super talented because the bar has just been raised throughout the years.
And now there you are, right up at the top of it. In my personal opinion, I'll always think that. But one thing I'm really intrigued with, because like I know a little bit about like scenes in other countries. Like what is like the alternative scene like in the sort of region where you are? Is it like quite a big thing? Because I know I've got some friends over in Poland, and they're in a band called Lecter. And they're really, really good. I remember Paula, the singer, she said to me, she's like, there's literally no scene here. She was like, we're probably more popular in the UK than we are in Poland. So, like, what's it like where you guys are?
Well, for us, so we're from Romania, and here, I mean, there is a scene. There are a few sort of core or punk adjacent bands. Metalcore or hardcore adjacent bands or things like that, but there's not a lot. Honestly, I think mostly we have like an alternative, like alt rock scene, and mostly kind of classic rock. So
And trash.
thrash.
We have
Yeah, but like there's not even like a lot of thrash metal anymore. It's mostly like it's basically there's a lot of there's some black metal, there's some death metal,
Some prog too.
some prog, yeah. But in terms of hardcore metalcore music or even like there's one gent band. It's the gent band, for example, right? Although I think they would hate it if I called them gent, but modern prog metal.
Yeah,
With low tunings,
yeah.
with 8 strings, right? But like it's not a huge or thriving scene. Everybody kind of knows everybody. It's a pretty small scene, to be honest. But that's kind of why we're trying to get our music out there to other scenes, other countries, because I think that there are 30 people who would be like super into our band here.
Really?
And I think I can name them all.
Wow. Like
2 of them are my
literally-
parents.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I know. Just off hearing it, I know. There's at least, I can guarantee you there's at least one channel that will feature this, and that'll be Tori. I'm very close friends with Tori over at Tori Reacts. I believe she's away with her husband at the minute. But I'll be dropping a message, and I'll just be like, you need to hear this. She'll absolutely love you guys. She'll probably want to interview you as well. I remember she did that with another one that I sent her, and I interviewed them, and then like she was like, oh, I'm interviewing them next week, and she's a really great supporter. She likes a lot of stuff that I do. She goes more into a symphonic stuff, so she's got quite a broad spectrum. But I think she'll absolutely love you guys.
We do have some songs with some orchestra on them. So
to be fair, I think whatever you guys could put out is going to be amazing. I mean, Rach, you could probably just wear a bin bag in a video, and I'll still fucking love it. You're that good,
Actually.
No, you would. Have you?
Caesar was making that joke with the actually, because I'm sure you can appreciate as a fellow videographer, sometimes you gotta do a music video, sometimes there's not a lot of budget. Trash bags, man, trash bags if you need like a backdrop.
oh boy.
Like, I think, I mean, in my time, like, the only ones I've done, like, you've seen the Live Stellaris one I did, like, one for an acoustic artist locally, and that was literally zero budget, but it was done in the summertime, and she's got that very sort of nature type person about her, so we just literally went out for the day with the camera, got loads of cool shots, and that was done on zero budget. Sometimes when you don't have, it's sort of like like when you're making quite a fair bit of money and you're like, oh, I'm buying this and I'm buying this, but then I also find when I'm making less, I somehow I'm able to survive so much better than when I have more, and it makes sense. So I think when you do have less, I think you probably get a little bit more creative with things.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Definitely.
I do like that, and I love that you do everything in house as well. I do really, really enjoy that. I won't keep you too much long because I know you've got a rehearsal to go to, but I did want to ask you. So, in terms of what we can expect from you going forward, if I know you have a social media manager, which is amazing, by the way. The fact that you actually some bands will just be like, right, yeah, I'll just like, hey everyone, big things coming or something like that. But, you know, but the fact that you've actually got a social media man shows, you know, that's something which is really important. And I can see as well that you all do your bit on the social as well. It's not just like, oh, let's just leave it to Rach because she's the female and everyone only wants to see her. I love how you all do it. But you've also got the sexy green hair, you've got the sexy red hair. We've got your drummer who must be in camouflage because I can't see him. Well, I think you're all doing really, really well, and I love to see that a band is doing it as a group, and it has to be that way. It shouldn't just be like, oh, we'll just leave it to that one member to do it, because that's exactly what used to happen with me. And I was like, well, I'll just fucking stop doing it then, shall I?
Yeah.
But yeah, what have we got that's going to be coming?
Oh boy. Actually,
First things first.
first things first, second things second.
What are you happy to say, of course?
So we have some more bits of content related to Hurt Me that are coming up or should have come out by the time by the time we upload this. We've got we've got a guitar and bass playthrough. Again, like no edits, no comping, no.
Just the sexy hairs.
Just the sexy hair, just some guitar playing and bass playing, and it has and all the
awkwardness
and all the awkwardness and the issues that come with that. And I think we've got some bits from the making of the video that we also want to share.
Yeah.
And let's just say,
they say.
Hurt Me is I how can I put this without having that local band energy? Fuck it. Yeah, we've got a second song. We just recorded it. It's coming soon. And video and all of that. And really, I mean, we have to mention the fact that our band really is a team effort. One of the issues that I had in the past as well was that I'm a bit of a control freak, and I tend to I'll just do everything myself. And now I've grown to really learn how to collaborate with these wacky bandmates of mine, and I really depend on them and on everyone in our team. I mean, we've got Michna, our social media manager that you were mentioning. He helps us, you know, with strategizing and like what types of content and we should be making and all of that, and helps
putting
us.
the screws.
And actually, he's also our director of photography.
That's what I wanted to say. He's our DOP as well. So like he filmed Hurt Me, right?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and the playthrough and the playthroughs really. Yeah, and in our team we also have Lucia, who's our makeup artist and stylist, apparently, from what I've heard you guys talking about recently.
And a graphic designer.
And also graphic designer. So like it's us and a couple of mates.
Yeah.
And we've got Juana as well, who's our general sort of band manager and sort of keeps us on the straight and narrow, because otherwise we'd just be like super stupid with with money and the videos, like
especially the videos.
Like Juana, our manager, basically just a lot of the time we go to her and we're like, look, we have this crazy idea for a video, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, and she's like, okay, how much is it gonna cost? Like 10 times more than we could ever afford. Okay, let's take a breath. Let's maybe rethink.
Slow down.
But in the same time, we don't really want to compromise, so that's a very long conversation.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we so there's some more bits of content. There's another song that's gonna be a pretty interesting blend, I have to
Okay.
say. And actually, fine, I'll give one little spoiler. One little spoiler. Um, let's. One of the messages that I got today from Rach was that, hey, I think I just mastered the Will Ramos technique. That's number one.
Okay, bloody hell.
We're probably not going to feature it on this song because we actually tracked the vocals 2 days ago. But on it, she discovered her low register.
She's basically, but wait, there's more.
Pretty much.
Vocalist. If you think you know
Kevin
what
is
she
like,
can do.
excellent, go on.
And if you're a fan of deathcore, you're going to enjoy that breakdown. Let me just say that.
I'll be looking forward to that. I did think it's like anytime you first hear a band, like, you know, a band always has a different range when it comes to each different release that they, you know, listen to a band at the first release and listen like 6-7 releases later. It always gets different. And I was like, I was really looking forward to seeing, obviously, what you do as a band as a whole, but when it's great to hear a vocalist progress, but like, again, when you already hear them for the first time, you're like, shit, this is good.
Yeah, and that's one of our sort of internal mission statements. Like we want to always be experimenting, like always be progressing as artists, and like not just, you know, we don't just like want to play 3 riffs and a breakdown. She could just scream her head off and that's it. Like for every bit that we do, both in terms of music and also in terms of visuals, like we really think through and try to tie everything together in a sort of artistic package, if you will, or an artistic concept, right? But yeah.
That really does come across well, and something I've always loved when if it dives into some sort of emotional concept, something that's, you know, happened to a person, or even just when you can feel that passion coming through, and it not just, as I said previously about, you know, it's not just somebody, it's like, oh hey, we've written this, right, can you just like do these for the vocals, and then they just sort of stand there and do it, but you can really see it. And I'm also amazed at how fucking wide your mouth goes. I was like, what do you? I was like, oh my god, she's gonna like eat the microphone. I'm convinced, just like how obviously with Alex Terrible being like this big Russian guy, and you know he's not like the normal sort of build. I'm convinced that there must be, because I was like, maybe this is why she's like got these special things that to me as a vocalist seems special from what I heard off that one track. I think maybe this is what's happening here. So maybe one day Alex Terrible is seeing it, but like, I think we should do a collaboration now. That would be fucking sick. It would.
It would.
That would be quality. But no, guys, I
Rate
really.
be like,
I really do want to say thanks for coming on. I don't want to take too much
Thank
of your time. Just a big thanks. One for reaching out to me. 2 for obviously coming on and having this hangout. It's been really, really cool. And to anyone else that is watching, if you made it to this point, do go and check out the band on all their socials. I'll make sure I've dropped all of the links. That'll all be down below. But thank you very much to all of you. I hope you have an amazing day. And I guess
Cheers,
we'll
mate.
see you on the next release. We'll see you on the next release.
Yes, we will.
Yes.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers.
Thank you so much
Thanks
for
for having us.
Thank
having us
you.
and checking out our stuff. Take care.
You're welcome. Cheers. Cheers.
Cheers.